You are most welcome to my channel. Kindly subscribe and don't forget to click the notification button. Today we are making this flared gown with collar neck and Chinese
So
button.
this is the material we'll be making use of. It's actually a flowered crepe. The required measurements you'll be needing: your gown length, your bust, back, sleeve length, and then round sleeve. So for the gown length, I'm working with a gown length of 57, bust is 42, back is 8, sleeve length is 15, and round sleeve is 16. For the flare gown, even right from looking at the picture, you already know you do not need your waist or your hip measurement. You only need your bust measurement. So now let's get down to work. I'm making use of 4 yards of this flower crepe material. So the first thing to do is to fold in a triangular shape into 4 folds. You first fold into 2 this way. You go ahead and fold it like this. So this already gives me the triangular shape. So this is the triangular shape that I'll fold into. So this is already into 4 folds. So the next is to measure out my gown length measurement. So remember I said I'm working with a gown length of 57 inch. So I'm adding 2-inch allowance. I'm adding 2 inch there. So right from the down part here, I'll measure and mark out 59 inch. So here is where my 59 inch is. 59 inch. So from here now, let me adjust so that the camera. From the upper part, I will measure, try and get and measure what inch I have here. So from here to here, it is now 12. So I'll go to the other end here and mark 11. That is the 12 I have here minus 1 inch. So this for this side is 11. Why for here it is 12. So the next thing is just to connect it and then cut it out. So that will surely give me my shoulder slant. The next is to cut, try and get my gown length around. So now from here, I'll measure 59. So don't forget how I arrive at this 59 measurement of 57 inch. So I added 2 to the 57. So I said the sleeve length is 15 and the round sleeve is 16. So I'm using the pieces from that I cut out from the body of the gown to cut the sleeve now. So sleeve length is 15. So 15, I'll be adding 1 inch. So I'm marking out 16 here. And round sleeve is 16. So into 4 fold. So into my round sleeve is 16. So 16 divided by 2 will give 8. So I'm adding 3-inch allowance because I want it to have an elastic design here. So this already give me what I want, which is 11 and a half. So I marked 16 here. 16, I'll minus 4. So when I subtract 4 from 16, it will give me 12. So that is just I'm using 12, 16 to 12 for my armhole depth that way. So next is just to cut and give it the shape. So the next thing is to cut it out. So no need of giving the sleeve ear shape because remember I made mention that I will be giving it that I want it to have an elastic design here. You will see while I sew it. The next thing is to mark the back. So the back is 8-inch. So here is my 8-inch. So from the 8, I will add 1. So mark my 9 downward. So the next is just to blend it with the 7 inch I marked up here for the back to give me my armhole measurement. So we have to mark out where my pocket is. So from my bust line here, I'll come down by 5 inch. I'll mark my 5 inch like this. Then I'll make the pocket opening. I want it to be 6.5. You can actually make it from 6 to 7 inch. So for here, I'm going for 6.5 inches. So the pocket opening will start from where I marked 5 inch, right from the bust. Then the opening will be 6.5. So I will notch it this way. So now to the neck. I actually want it to be of turtleneck. So for the front, it will be 3 by 3 inch, while the back will be 3 by 1.5 inch. So let me mark the 3 inch for both first before I will then separate out. So this is where my 3 inch is. So let me launch it out. So this is it. So the next thing is to separate to separate it out and cut each of it. So after separating it, so that in order for me to cut the neckline, I'll separate. So let's cut the front first. Remember I said it's 3 by 3 inch. So this is where my 3 inch, which I already marked out before. Then I'll then need to mark 3 inch down again. So I'll connect the 2 points. You can make use of your freehand or your ruler. So and then for the then I'll then have to come down by 1.5 again and make the design this way. So now to the back. So this is where the 3 inch which I notch for it as well is. Then I'll come down by 1.5. So for the back is 3 inch by 1.5 inch. 3 inch for the wideness, 1.5 for the depth. And for the front is 3 inch by 3 inch. So 3 inch for the length and 3 inch for the depth. So with that, we color for the neck. So I'll be making use of one of the pieces I cut out from the body. So it's quite very easy to cut out. In order to have a very nice collar, right from these pieces, I'll be making use of where there is this slant, or should I call it a diagonal side, a diagonal line here. So the next thing is I want the length of my collar to be 2 inch, 2 inch on foot. So with that 2 inch on foot, so that will give me 4. So plus my 1 inch extra seam allowance. So that will make it 5. Such that when I fold it, it will give me 2.5, and the half inch will be for the sewing. Why I will have 2 inch remaining. So from this diagonal line here, I have my 5 inch here. Sorry. So from the diagonal line here, I have my 5 inch. Yes. So I will mark it down that way. So after joining the two together, I will iron my gun stay to the wrong side of this before joining it to the body of the dress. So after the necessary joining and stitching, this is the final look of the flay gown. Check it out. From the neck, I decided to add the Chinese button, the sleeve. This was the elastic I was talking about. And check out the full style. This is how it looks like. And
I decided to add a matching turban cap to it. Check out my next video for the full video of how to make this turban cap. Check out my next video on my page for it. So thank you all for watching. Now please don't forget to subscribe and kindly click the notification button so as to be notified whenever I upload any of my videos. And feel free to drop your recommendation, your addition, and your encouragement in the comment section. Do well to give a thumbs up. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice day. Bye and God bless.